It is impossible to be a fan of martial arts and not have heard the name Bruce Lee. But do you know who the legendary Bruce Lee's master was? His name was Ip Man. Today's story is about this great master who fought the Japanese army with nothing but his bare hands. The story begins in 1935 in the city of Foshan, China. At that time, martial arts were becoming very popular. A kung fu master named Liu opened the first martial arts academy in Foshan so people could learn self-defense. However, there was another man in the same city whom the world knew as Grand Master Ip. Ip Man was a master of Wing Chun martial arts, and his greatest hallmark was his simplicity. Ip Man also helped his old friend, Zhao Qingquan, who owned a cotton mill, by lending him money for his business. When Zhao offered him shares in the company, Ip Man humbly refused, saying, "Return the money when the time is right." Master Liu visits Ip Man at his home and challenges him to a friendly duel to test his skills. Ip Man happily agrees, and within just a few minutes defeats Liu using his unique techniques. Embarrassed, Liu begs that this stay a secret, but fate had other plans. A young boy sees everything through a window, and news spreads across the city that Master Ip defeated Liu in just 1 minute. Master Liu is infuriated when he hears the news. He creates a scene outside his academy and catches the boy who spread the rumor, shouting that it is all a lie. Meanwhile, a crowd gathers at a restaurant where Ip Man is sitting. Police officer Li Zhao arrives and mocks kung fu, saying it is now the era of guns, not martial arts. Without fear, Ip Man disassembles the officer's revolver in seconds and hands back the pieces. He proves that while it only takes a finger to pull a trigger, kung fu requires discipline. A new twist arrives with Jin Shangzhao, a fierce fighter from northern China. He defeats every master in the city and eventually reaches Ip Man's house. Ip Man's wife is initially against the fight because she doesn't want their home turned into a battleground. Ip Man initially refuses to fight because he does not believe in violence. However, Jin's rudeness increases. The atmosphere becomes tense until Ip Man's young son arrives on his bicycle and says, "Mom says if you don't hit him, everything in the house will be broken." With his wife's green signal, Ip Man enters the field. Jin draws his sword, but Ip Man defeats him using nothing but a simple feather duster. Faced with Ip Man's speed and agility, Jin's strength proves useless, and he flees. Ip Man becomes the hero of Foshan. In 1937, Japan invades China. The once prosperous Foshan is turned into ruins. The Japanese strip the people of everything. Ip Man, who once lived in a luxury home, is forced to live in a shack with his family and work as a laborer in a coal mine. Despite the days of starvation, Ip Man's self-respect remains alive. One day, Officer Li Zhao, now working for the Japanese, arrives at the mine. He announces that anyone who fights Japanese soldiers will be rewarded with a bag of rice. Driven by hunger, Ip Man's friend Lin and Master Liu join the games. Liu defeats a soldier and takes his rice, but in his desperation, he challenges 3 fighters at once and is brutally killed. When Ip Man discovers that Lin is missing and Master Liu has been murdered, he is consumed by rage. He goes straight to the Japanese dojo and challenges General Miura with the historic line, "I don't want rice, I want to fight 10 karate fighters at once." General Miura, surprised by his confidence, accepts. Ip Man fights not like a master, but like a wounded lion. His Wing Chun technique is so lethal that the Japanese fighters don't even get a chance to save themselves. He beats all 10 of them single-handedly. Impressed, Miura asks for his name. Ip Man, carrying the pride of his nation, replies, "I am just a Chinese man named Ip Man." Ip Man leaves the bags of rice behind. For him, this fight was for his dignity and to avenge his friend, not for hunger. However, he is now in the sights of the Japanese. General Miura wants to force him to train his army in kung fu. Japanese soldiers arrest Ip Man at his home. Miura offers him a choice: train the soldiers or prepare to die. Without a second of hesitation, Ip Man chooses death and challenges Miura to a public duel. He wants to show that Chinese martial arts are not just about physical movement, but an unbreakable spirit. In the public square of Foshan before thousands of people, Master Ip and General Miura face off. On one side was the power of Japanese karate, and on the other, the art of Wing Chun. Miura initially shows his strength, but as soon as Ip Man uses Chin Na and Fa Jing, Miura becomes helpless. Ip Man's punches land with the speed of a machine gun. He beats Miura senseless, proving to the people of Foshan that no matter how powerful injustice is, it must bow before truth and courage. The crowd erupts in chants of Ip Man, Ip Man. Immediately after the duel, a Japanese officer treacherously shoots Ip Man. Chaos ensues, but the Chinese public rushes forward to save their hero. Though wounded, Master Ip successfully escapes to Hong Kong with his family. This marks the beginning of the second chapter of his life, where he spreads his art across the world and eventually trains a great disciple named Bruce Lee. So friends, that was the story of the great master who lit the flame of hope in a broken city. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to follow Movie Memento. We'll see you with the story of the next film.